Next on the agenda, without a doubt, probably one of the most exciting pieces of film to come out recently. Something that I know is like just the pop culture fan in me, all about it. Huge fan. Avengers: Age of Ultron.
It was an amazing movie.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of plot holes, I thought, in the film.
I think that is exactly how you describe a Josh Whedon film. And I have no problems with that.
Except for Cabin in the Woods. They had no plot holes at all.
No, none whatsoever.
That movie was all over the place.
But I want to talk about our first. Okay, so we saw it.
Yes.
Brandon, what did you think?
I loved a lot of the movie. I loved seeing it in IMAX 3D. I thought it was amazing. But there were a lot of plot holes that I would have busted out my rim on.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put it?
It's a 7. It's a 7. Yeah. It's
wow. A 7?
It's a 7.
Okay. I thought we were gonna just.
It's critical.
I thought we were gonna Josh Whedon.
Yeah.
But okay, why? Give me the reasons why it was a 7 and not an 8 or a 9 or a 10.
Well, I mean, okay, so so the white guy from the Avengers, or actually the S.H.I.E.L.D. series, the guy who was killed off in the last Avengers, never showed up.
Phil Coulson.
Yes, never showed up.
Are you up to date on the show?
I am not.
There is a very interesting tie-in that
They had to do that.
They had to, because they created this universe.
Yeah,
they created this
to
universe where the movies. Think about this from the perspective.
Everything correlates,
and that's a good thing. But think about it. I've never thought about it like this. But if you were a writer on S.H.I.E.L.D., of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, you're a writer. You're responsible for that universe.
You got to be talking to Josh Whedon.
Everything you do is predicated on some other shit. Like if they decide to do something crazy, they're like all the aircraft carriers are now purple.
Well, yeah.
Like you're like shit. Like you gotta do that. Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of an issue because I feel like Joss Whedon likes to make it his own story, not necessarily the story that's actually real to what's happening.
Apparently, there was a big kerfuffle with Josh Kerfuffle. That's a word. Google it.
Joss.
With Josh. How many? Josh. I love the man. I'm not trying to diss him. I just don't know how to say that name. Josh Whedon and and Marvel apparently had a big disagreement about how they wanted to shape certain characters, specifically Quicksilver.
Oh yeah.
And
the killing off of that?
No. Just about where they wanted their characters to go. But apparently, the scene where spoilers. I'm saying that now.
We have to.
You have to say it. The scene with Thor when he was in the water.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get answers.
Yes.
Apparently, that was an additional 30 minutes longer.
Wow.
And Marvel was negative.
Yeah,
he was so they. What he said was that they did the best that they could, appeasing to both parties. But apparently it left a very sour taste in his mouth.
Yeah.
And that's one. I mean, there are a lot of reasons. I don't know if you know this right now. He dropped Twitter.
Yeah.
He's what he said was he's in withdrawal right now.
Well, he doesn't want the influences of everybody else contradicting what he was trying to do.
Apparently, he's in the middle of he's deep in a what he's calling a writing phase where he's just going to go black and come out with a new IP.
Yeah.
So to me, that's very exciting. I mean, yes.
Okay.
Well, no, he is done with Marvel.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, there's a whole new crew of guys.
Yeah, he's done.
He's gonna make his next Firefly, his next Buffy Vampire Slayer. Okay, that's what he's gonna do. I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
that's not what this is about.
What about killing off Quicksilver?
I don't know how that affected him in Marvel.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about just the plot point, I was okay with it.
You're okay with it. Okay.
Well, okay.
Does Quicksilver die?
Who should have died?
I don't know. Maybe. I think it would have been time for Tony Stark to take a dive. Just saying. Even though that's your boy, I'm just saying.
He's got a big head. Man.
He would have been okay with it. He would have been okay with it though, because he's pushing himself further and further away from the franchise. As the movie ends, we all know
he's leaving.
Basically, what's happening is that they're in their third phase of what they're calling the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We are at the tail end of the second end, which now issues the third.
Yeah.
I'm 99.9% sure we're going to get a new Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, that's
definitely happening.
That is definitely happening.
We're also going to be getting.
We're going to see Spider-Man.
Another Captain America.
We'll see Spider-Man in that movie.
Yes.
There was a lot of rumor, and I honestly kind of bit into this. I thought Spider-Man was going to be in this. I thought he was going to have a little cameo.
He might have maybe showed up.
Here's why: the next movie is Civil War.
Yes.
It's Captain America: Civil War. For those of you who are not up on the comics, he plays an integral part in that story.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is not by any means the star of it, but he's a key player in that story. I'm not going to ruin it for anyone who hasn't read it.
Yeah.
But it would have been a good time to put him into that universe.
I agree.
But that's what the next movie's about. I think they're going to put him in that, and then there is a rumor that he's going to be a new Avenger.
That's cool. Yeah.
But
makes sense.
But it will not be playing
Andy Garfield.
Thank you. It will. Why? Do you know why?
I don't know why.
I'm gonna tell you.
What I do know is that Andy Garfield is a lot older than he looks.
Yes,
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he is.
But it has nothing to do with age. Why he's not in this.
No, not at all. Let's start with Andy Garfield.
I think it has a lot to do with social media. Actually, why he's not in.
Do we like? Oh no, I'm going to tell you why in a minute.
I actually enjoyed him in the first two movies.
I loved Andy Garfield.
He was great in them.
I think he was perfect.
I liked him more than.
I liked him more than
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
I agree.
I don't know. Like, I enjoy Tobey Maguire. I've got nothing against that man.
Maguire. I felt Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man for me. I fell in love with him.
Yeah.
And I was so against
until
bringing someone else in, and then this Andy Garfield comes in nailed it.
Killed it.
He's only been really known for indie films, too.
Right.
That's all he's ever done.
And he did it way
Across
better
the
than Tobey
universe and a
Maguire
couple
did.
other films. So.
I thought there was a sincerity to his performance.
He played Peter Parker, man.
Yeah. That's what it is.
He did. He was.
When
Peter
you play
Spider-Man
Spider-Man is actually very easy to play.
Yeah.
It's Peter Parker.
That's hard to play.
That's hard to play. And I enjoyed the first two Spider-Man. I thought that you know what I mean, the Tobey Maguire universe. I enjoyed the first two.
Did you enjoy Tobey though as Spider-Man? I did
you know
not.
what it was? I'm now.
I did not.
I did in the first two.
Did you?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
It was the third one.
Yeah, the goth, the emo child of
the third movie was a complete and utter clusterfuck.
Disaster.
It was the key to ruin any comic book movie is to shove as many
characters in at one point.
Do you remember the scene in the Spider-Man? No, Spider-Man 2. Do you remember the scene with Doc Ock when he gets the chainsaws and it's like the arms are working and he's like cutting everybody up? It's like right when he comes out and the arms are working.
Yes.
That scene was taken from Army of Darkness or Evil Dead 2. It was completely directed the same way Sam Raimi's directing,
Of course it was. It was Sam Raimi's.
It was amazing. And like I thought that was like a classic twist to what he's done to classic horror and this and that.
The second Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film is arguably my favorite in those three.
It was the best.
It was like you can that will still hold weight with anything that comes out now.
That Spider-Man
Spider-Man
2 was better than this Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, absolutely. That was going to be okay. So now there's the Amazing Spider-Man universe, right?
Yes.
That is the Andy Garfield universe.
Right. But that's over now.
It is. But I want to do a recap.
Yeah.
I want to talk about these two films. I want to talk about the first one.
Okay.
I thought it was if you were to do a standalone like a paperback, like a standalone story of Spider-Man. You don't want to buy the comic books. You don't want to buy the universe. If you just want to tell this one succinct story of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2 did it.
This was the first one.
Yes.
Amazing. The first Amazing Spider-Man. With that one was a beautiful piece of film. Yeah. I love the costume. They didn't go with Mary Jane. They went with his first love.
Yeah.
Played by who should have been Mary Jane because she's a gorgeous redhead.
Oh yeah.
I mean that film was perfect.
Yeah.
And then the second one did exactly what the third Tobey Maguire film did, I think.
Yeah.
Which was they just threw too much at it.
So going back to Age of Ultron.
Yes, that is the worst segue I've ever heard.
Yeah, but I have to.
But we have to get there.
I have to because that was what we wanted to talk about. But
I agree with you.
We bypassed.
We jumped the fish.
Yeah, we did. We were like, oh, Spider-Man's gonna be the next one.
Yeah, and that's when
but we don't
lost
even
it.
know that yet. It's speculation.
It's rumored. You're right. Yeah, that was a huge rumor tangent.
And that's okay. That's fine. And if it doesn't happen, whatever. But
Avengers.
So Avengers.
Age of Ultron.
Take it in. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What are we?
I think this is why we veered on that topic because I didn't necessarily want to answer it.
Yeah, but you should.
I have to
because they want to know. You guys want to know.
You don't want to know. But I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I loved it. I look at the Avengers films, kind of through the prism of like a childhood like joy. Like I'm not looking for Citizen Kane. If I think about it hard, there's a lot of plot holes. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of issues I had with the Black Widow, Incredible Hulk thing. Yeah. But I also thoroughly enjoyed that they took a minute to slow down the pacing and give me some funny and give me a little heart. Listen, if the credits had rolled like all the way through. And at the very end, you saw Banner and her on an island.
Yeah, I would have been okay with that.
I would have been okay with that.
I would have been okay with that.
No, not with that. Not with that.
I honestly felt the first.
Can you imagine a Hulk in puberty?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Listen,
Zits and rage.
It's like me on a Tuesday. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
I honestly felt the first 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes of the movie.
What did you think of the opening sequence?
I felt like they didn't want to be there. The actors, I felt like they all felt out of place. Everything didn't fall into sync. It took literally 10, 15 minutes for them to get the rhythm. The rhythm was completely off, and
which is weird because
that would not be the take that I would have taken as a director or as in film making a movie. And honestly, I felt like the first 10 minutes they were not wanting to be there, not wanting to do it anymore, and then it fell into sync.
It felt forced.
It felt forced. Yeah. It felt very forced. But that's what I got, maybe not everybody gets that, but I felt like I saw that in the film process that was being made. So, that's what I got.
I liked the action from the opening sequence. I will say this is that, and I don't necessarily agree with you. Yeah. But when I saw the opening sequence, there was something.
It felt sleepy.
There was something there where I was like, well, how do you start this right?
Yeah.
How do you it's easy to get into it. Yeah. But how do you?
Well, the last movie, the Easter egg was them wasn't it them eating in a diner?
Shawarma.
They're eating pizza in a diner or something.
Shawarma.
So it makes sense. It's done. We don't have to do much. We can eat pizza and play.
Yeah. So they just got right into it.
Yeah.
What did we think of the gentleman who's in the blacklist?
Yeah.
Who played the villain, the protagonist? Help me out.
James Spader.
Thank you. Jesus Christ.
James Spader.
There you go. James Spader as
Ultron.
As Ultron.
James Spader to me was the reason I watched the movie.
Yeah, I was super excited.
I almost felt like I was watching Walter White in Breaking Bad.
Very similar.
Very evil, very sinister, yet had
I want to give you guys a little fun fact.
Yeah.
Remember in the beginning sequence when Quicksilver and his sister meets Ultron for the first time, and he's on that chair, and he's got the cloak. Mm-hmm. That is a reference to a comic book in the '60s.
Well, that's cool.
There's a shot-for-shot picture.
It's awesome that they did that.
I mean that. There's so many. There's a great video on YouTube right now about the 7 or 12 Easter eggs, and if he didn't explain it to me, I'm not that versed.
What did you think of the Easter egg at the end?
Be more specific.
Well, the 30 seconds that they showed of an Easter egg leading into what was going on.
Oh, that was the nod to the gauntlet. Yeah. See, once again, I'm not that deep into the MCU. Yeah. So I couldn't. I mean, I know that the glove is the Infinity Gauntlet. Mm-hmm. I know that character's name is something that begins with letters.
26 of those. To be exact.
Does anyone know?
I felt like I don't know the universe like some would, but I really felt like the Easter egg was not enough. I felt like it wasn't like every Easter egg we've had at the end of any Marvel movie has been amazing, and I just felt like this Easter egg was just
left you a little flat.
It was very flat. It was very flat.
Honestly, and here's why I'm going to say that. I think if Thanos Thank you.
There you go.
You're welcome, America. Thanos. Here's the interesting thing about Thanos, and they're not talking about it, but I think this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I think you are going to get a convergence between the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers. I think at some point those two universes are going to collide.
No, I agree.
There's already another Marvel's movie in the an Avengers movie in the works, right? Like
yes.
I have to assume.
Oh, yes.
So what do we have? What do we got coming down the pike? We've got Captain.
Well, I can tell you
We have
this.
Captain America coming.
It's called
out.
There's a movie. It's called something.
The next Avengers
They've already
movie
got the name
that we're going to see is the Avengers 3, obviously.
Yes.
It's going
That's
to
all
be
right. Nothing wrong with the number 3.
it'll be Infinity War Part 1.
Infinity
That's part
War.
one. It's already broken up
Infinity
into
War.
parts already.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're gonna do that, like that thing that
It's
all
like
franchise.
Twilight. They're like, oh, we're gonna shoot both of them and then cut it in the middle.
Okay.
Hey, The Hobbit did it just fine.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
No,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't.
I agree. Yeah.
It's funny you should mention that because that was the one I was going to talk about. Okay, so long story short, there is this thing that's happening right now where they try to stretch a franchise.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I actually like this movie franchise. I've never read the book. Mockingjay was it the Hunger Games?
Hunger Games.
Okay, I love.
They're
I
actually
actually
pretty good.
no,
They're not
great.
bad.
Great book.
Did you read
By
it?
the way, yeah, oh yeah.
Okay,
I read
have
it
you
in
read
high
all
school.
of them?
Yes.
All
Very
of
good
them.
books.
Is the franchise over? Book
The last one's coming up, part 4.
no, in the book format.
Right. Book format. I don't
The
know.
books are
The
done.
books are
Yeah.
They're great
Yeah.
series, man.
great films. I
Better
enjoy.
books.
sure,
of
yeah.
course.
Obviously.
But I like
as
looking
always.
at Jennifer
As
Lawrence.
always, as always.
But I do enjoy Jennifer Lawrence. I like.
Yeah,
looking
she
at her.
kills it,
Watching
man.
her film.
She's
kills it.
easy
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Does a good job.
But here's my point: is that there's this thing where like okay, so that franchise is a trilogy, correct? In book format.
Well, Yeah, whatever.
In
Yeah.
book format, I thought it was 3.
4.
4.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So and they're doing 4 movies?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that there is this trend to stretch things out.
Yes.
The Hobbit should have been. The Hobbit was always intended
Yeah.
to be a 2 film.
Okay.
Like I want to say trilogy, but like there should be a word for that.
Yeah.
Like just 2 films standalone. He had already done 3 films.
Yeah.
Called The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
They were hugely successful.
Very.
I would have enjoyed The Hobbit to be a more concise story. The book's not that big.
No, it's
Not 3 movies.
Not the original.
And that's
It's not.
that's my
Yeah,
issue with that.
actually.
Dylan, Dilbert,
That's me.
Robin. We're just pulling it back hard.
Pull it back.
Back to Ultron.
This movie, in my opinion, when I saw the first one, when I saw the first Avengers, what I remember most from that movie was the action, and I remember the transition scenes from each character to the next, and I remember that being something that I'd never really seen before in a movie before, and I remember looking at it and thinking, "Wow, this is pretty cool," you know. But and they did it, and they opened right up with it in the next movie, and it was like they just catered to every single need that I had.
I agree.
And that's for me, and I don't know how many other people really felt the way that I felt. But obviously, there were some plot holes.
Yes, it was
some
made by
things-
Josh Whedon.
There were some things
Josh
that didn't go correctly in the movie, but overall, I wouldn't give it a 7. I'd give it higher than that, just because there is no movie like it that I've seen that does the action that this movie does. You know, it comes from. It starts with Captain America simply throwing his shield at another enemy's face, and and the shield hits the enemy's face, and as it's coming off of that enemy's face, Black Widow catches it out of the air and throws it, and she throws it, and then
the
all of a sudden,
cinematics were amazing.
Thor
They were
hits it, and
absolutely
it's-
amazing.
The way we talk about like the door from the Division is the way I want to talk about like the shield from this
Well,
Avengers. Like the shield
that
just
shield had some.
I don't want to interrupt you, but
No.
there's another spin-off that's been canceled that is based on the Shield and everything else that's going on, and it just got shit canned last night.
Wait, what are you talking about?
There was another spin-off that's happening. It was a TV spin-off, and it got
From
shit
the
canned.
Marvel
Yeah.
Universe?
Yeah.
What was it?
I do not know the name of it right now,
Ooh.
but it just literally came down the pipeline last night in the news saying that they already canceled the show before it even started.
It
hasn't started.
Good.
They had the cast.
I actually think I know what it might be.
They had the cast. They had everything in
Yeah.
in play.
I think I
but it's
actually know
already
what it
been
might be.
it's already been canceled.
Yeah, I think I know.
Which is kind of like I'm seeing the small collapse on Marvel. A little bit.
No, this is
No,
just
it's not a big
no.
collapse.
This
It's
is
just a very small collapse.
I think what you're seeing is the bubble of
Well, you can only do it for so long. And,
yeah, well, no, like I don't want to say.
Pops,
yeah, well, I don't think the bubble. I think the bubble will pop.
Yeah.
By that I mean, I think the comic book thing is hitting entropy.
Yeah,
I think we're hitting a number of franchises that we can exploit and do successfully.
Yeah.
Like I think all of these franchises warrant merit.
Yeah.
But not this quick.
Right.
And okay, so TNT is doing Titans. But that's the show they're calling it. It's Teen Titans.
It's crazy to me that TNT is doing it.
I'm not like okay, so I love
I don't know,
these
man.
guys, but I don't. Think
You
this
should
is
watch
good.
The Last Ship. TNT's put some pretty good content out there.
I don't disagree with that. But there's a lot
they
of
did it for years.
like.
They're picking it up.
Yeah, but
they
what
know
I'm
they
saying
have
is that the market is about to be flooded.
Yeah.
And we're looking at, I mean, from the first Iron Man to Avengers 2, Marvel has put out just on the cinematic front, a huge amount of content.
Oh yeah,
yeah, at least 6.
And then you look at the way their Netflix division is going, which is, by the way, I actually did some recon on this. It's called The Defenders. Here's the plan. Daredevil.
There's
Daredevil. There's Daredevil. There's a young woman who I don't know her name, but she was a superhero and then becomes a detective.
Yeah.
After that, I believe it's going to be Luke Cage.
Yep.
Or
and the Fist.
And then after that, it's going to be Iron Fist,
right?
Who I'm the most familiar with. He gets his powers. It's like martial arts meets super soldier serum.
2 of those actually fall in love with each other.
Yes, Luke Cage and the female, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously. Maybe they're going to go the other way.
Right?
Who knows? Here's the thing. It's Netflix. They might get real weird with it.
They might.
AndLl be okay with that because I love Netflix decisions.
Yeah, Netflix has gone weird before, and I love it.
Okay, so to kind of wrap this up, you are where okay, here's the question.
Better or worse than the first?
That was my question.
It was way better than the first. I wasn't okay. I can.
What do
tell
you
this.
give the first then? If you give this,
okay.
a 7?
Well, you knew that I did not like the first. I've stated this many times. I was not a big fan of the first one. I don't know.
For purposes of film, I didn't know that.
well, I mean.
So this is all new intel.
Here's the thing. Like, I liked the first one. I actually went back and watched it a couple times, and I liked it more the second time.
Yeah, that happens to me with a few films.
I didn't care for it the first time. I don't know what it was. It felt like rushed. They felt like, characters were put into place. But the way the second one began, I actually liked the cinematics, like the way they worked together a lot better. But then when it came down to the acting portion, where they were together with the dialogue, it felt...
In the first one?
No, in the second one.
Okay.
In the second one, it felt very...
I kind of see that.
It felt like they just didn't want to be there. Like the acting wasn't on top. It wasn't, it seemed like they all had something else to do. But 15 minutes into it, it all took place and all worked.
I think you start to kind of get... I actually had that same problem with Froggy in Daredevil.
Yeah.
I felt like it took me a couple episodes to get used to him and the way he delivered lines. Okay, so let me ask you this.
Sure.
Would you buy it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So this is something you enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, I'll add it to my collection. I'll watch it again, and I'll watch it again, and I'll keep watching it. And I'm just picking it apart from what I saw, from what I observed, and to be honest with you, it was a great film. It was a great piece of cinematic, work. But at the same time,
A lot of fun.
it was a lot of fun. But there was a few things that, as a director, if I was directing the film, I would have made sure the actors wanted to be there. And it just seemed
I would have slept with Scarlett Johansson.
Well, we all would have.
We
all would have.
Sorry, that's my one and only sexist comment.
Yeah. We all
okay, so where do you land on this?
Is she a slut? Like everybody else says she is.
That's Black Widow. That's Black Widow. That's not Scarlett Johansson.
Let's go Black Widow. Is she a slut?
Yeah, there you go.
Let's just answer that now.
Listen, do you know how much trouble they got into?
No, they got in a lot of trouble. But we won't. We won't get in trouble for that.
Okay, so would you buy the film?
Scarlett Johansson is a saint.
Okay, what about Black Widow?
Black Widow is a temptress.
That is a politician.
That is gospel right there.
That is a politician in the making. Are you going to buy that movie?
Let me straight.
Are you going to spend $30 for the deluxe Blu-ray with little Captain America Shield.
This might be
bonus
one of those
piece.
movies that I do spend that on.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna kind of gravitate off of what Brandon was saying.
Okay.
And the fact where there are some movies that you can only watch once. They really
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's absolutely.
But this is one of those movies that I could probably watch 50 times and
Yeah.
love
I
every
would.
single time.
I would go again.
I would
watch it in
I plan on
IMAX.
going to
It
see
was
it again in
really.
theaters,
It was
actually.
really good.
It was
in
worth
IMAX.
seeing in IMAX too.
It was a very good action-filled movie. It was great. I loved it. I would see it again.
It had the
I'm
humor,
buying
it
it.
had the action,
Yeah.
it had everything.
I gotta be honest. Here's what I'm gonna say. It is, and this is kind of my final thought on it. I don't think I spoke. I was. You guys. I mean, it was a great movie.
You don't
Not-
normally sweat this much when you talk about movies. You're sweating a lot talking about
because
this
you
movie.
keep talking about fucking. You keep talking about the Black Widow. Obviously, I'm gonna sweat.
Last, not better than the first.
I thought it was
Not better than the first?
Not
really?
better. Not better.
Really?
I
Okay.
loved the first movie, man.
Yeah.
Those two movies.
I think it's a brilliant piece of cinema.
Better
And
than the first or second?
I think I liked it a little more.
So did I. I agree.
Than the first. But here's the thing. Last fun fact: the top 3 grossing movies of all time are run by Marvel.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that the 3 most profitable movies of all time, and are Avengers.
Yeah.
Avengers 2.
Yeah.
And I believe Iron Man 3.
I think it was.
Or Iron, either
It's one of the
Iron
Iron
Man
Man.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was Iron Man
So
2,
the
'cause
top,
it might have been
top
Iron Man
3,
2.
the top 3 seeds are by
Marvel.
By Marvel.
Yeah.
That's good kingship, if you ask me.
DC, what's up?